What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So I've been wanting to do this video for a very long time. I'm going to start doing a series of videos. We're going to be talking about the elections in 2026, so the midterm elections. We're going to take a look at the Senate races. So I'm going to go through all of the Senate races, and then we'll take a look at some of the toss-up states that we've been seeing right now. And we're going to use the current polling to get this information. Okay, so that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video. And if you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, so before we get started, I want to talk a little bit about why this matters. Why do the midterms matter? Well, you have the Republicans controlling the House, Republicans are controlling the Senate, and the presidency. And so Republicans have an opportunity through reconciliation to pass bills. Now, if we were to see Democrats control either the House or the Senate or both, well, now you'll have a little bit of pushback when it comes to some of these bills. It'll have to be a bipartisan bill. Right now, Republicans, if they want to do a reconciliation bill every year, they can do a reconciliation bill every year. And if Democrats cannot take back control of the House or the Senate or both, Republicans will be able to pass reconciliation bills in 27 and 28 if Democrats can't take back control of the House or the Senate. And so right now we're going to take a look at all the available Senate seats in 2026. Here we go. So let's take a look at the Senate map based on the latest polling. When it comes to the seats that are solid for the Democrats, we have Hickenlooper in Colorado. We have Coons in Delaware. We have an open seat in Illinois. We have Markey in Massachusetts. We have Booker in New Jersey. We have Lujan in New Mexico. We have Merkley in Oregon. We have Reed in Rhode Island. And we have Warner in Virginia. Now let's take a look at the seats that are likely for the Democrats. We have an open seat in Minnesota. Now let's take a look at the seats that are leaning for the Democrats. We have an open seat in New Hampshire. Now let's look at some of the seats that are solid for the Republicans. So we have Sullivan in Alaska. We have an open seat in Alabama. We have Senator Cotton in Arkansas. We have Moody in Florida. We have Reich in Idaho. We have Marshall in Kansas. We have an open seat in Kentucky. We have Cassidy in Louisiana. We have Hyde Smith in Mississippi. We have Daines in Montana. We have Ricketts in Nebraska. We have Mullen in Oklahoma. We have Graham in South Carolina. We have Rounds in South Dakota. We have Haggerty in Tennessee. We have Capito in West Virginia. And we have Loomis in Wyoming. Now let's take a look at some of the seats that will likely go to the Republican Party. We have an open seat in Iowa, and we have Cornyn in Texas. Now let's take a look at some of the seats that are leaning for the Republican Party. We have Collins in Maine and Husted in Ohio. Now the current seats that are too close to call are in Michigan, North Carolina, and Georgia. So the total right now, Democrats 45, Republicans 52. And so just looking at the latest polling, you see Democrats, they have an uphill battle. 45 for Democrats, 52 for Republicans. Republicans already have the majority just at that 52, just based on the latest polling. But I want to come back to the map because I want to show you guys there are a few ways that Democrats can actually win the majority. Okay, now it'll be very, very hard. Don't get me wrong. But they still have an opportunity. And so for Democrats, if we were to look, if they were able to win Michigan, and if they were able to win North Carolina, which is very possible for them to win North Carolina, as well as Georgia, because Ossoff is running for re-election. So right there, they would have 48. So Democrats would have 48, Republicans would still have 52. So Democrats would have to flip a few of these states. Now, one state they could potentially flip is Maine. You have Susan Collins running there. And there's a possibility. Susan Collins has been getting a lot of pushback from the constituents in Maine. So it's possible that that seat can be won by a Democrat. And then if we move down to Ohio, we have Sherrod Brown, who will be running. And he has, he has name recognition. He has a possibility as well to flip that seat in Ohio. And then when it comes to Iowa, we know that Senator Ernst will not be running for re-election. And so there's still a possibility here. So although this is likely going to go to a Republican, if Democrats were able to flip that seat, it would give them 51, Republicans would have 49, and Democrats would control the Senate. And so I just wanted to give you an overall view of what we're looking at when it comes to the Senate. I will do the same thing for the House. The House, Democrats will probably be able to take the House, but when it comes to the Senate, it's going to be very, very hard for them to do that. And right now, the Republicans have a big advantage, but we have a lot of time left. And we also need to look at the economy because we don't know what's going to happen this time next year. What are we going to be looking at when it comes to inflation and overall economy? Okay, so before we go, I do want to take a look at some of the latest polling. This is coming from Real Clear Politics. They averaged the pollsters, so I want to take a look at the economy as well as inflation because these are going to be two major issues when it comes to the midterm election, because midterm elections tend to be a referendum on the current administration. And if things are going bad when it comes to our economy, if inflation is high, you're going to see people get out to vote, and they're going to be voting against the current administration. Okay, so looking at Real Clear Politics, let's look at the average first. When it comes to disapproval, right now we're at 54. When it comes to approval, we're at 42.3. And the spread there is minus 11.6. Now we'll take a look at a few of the latest pollsters. And we have Economist YouGov. This was conducted between 8/22 and 8/25, 1,377 registered voters. You have approval at 42, disapproval at 54. The spread there is minus 12. Looking at Quinnipiac, that was conducted between 8/21 and 8/25, 1,220 registered voters. Approval 39, disapproval 57. The spread there is minus 18. And we'll look at two more. Morning Consult, conducted between 8/22, 8/24, 2,200 registered voters. Approval at 45, disapproval at 49. The spread there is minus 4. And one more, Reuters, conducted between 8/22 and 8/24, 1,022 adults. Approval there, 37, disapproval 55. The spread there is minus 8. So just looking at the latest pollsters, we have one at minus 18, we have one at minus 4, another at minus 18, and then another at minus 12. So you see double digits for the latest 5 polls, double digits, and then you only have one that is a single digit. And this is all for disapproval of the current administration. Okay, so now let's look at inflation. When it comes to inflation, Real Clear Politics, the average has disapproval at 59.1, approval at 39.3. The spread there is minus 19.8. Looking at some of the latest pollsters, we have the Economist YouGov conducted between 8/22 and 8/25, 1,377 registered voters. You have approval at 36, disapproval at 60. The spread there is minus 24. We have the Harvard Harris poll conducted between 8/20 and 8/21, 2,025 registered voters. Approval there is 41, disapproval is 59. The spread there is minus 18. We have CNBC. That was conducted between 7/29 and 8/3, 1,000 adults. You have approval there at 37, disapproval at 60. The spread there is minus 23. We'll do one more. Fox News, conducted between 7/18, 7/24, 1,000 registered voters. Approval there 36, disapproval 62. The spread there is minus 26. And so you see we have double digits when it comes to inflation. On all the latest pollsters are showing double digits. As a matter of fact, all the pollsters on here are showing double digits except one, and that is the RMPG Research poll. And so what does this tell us? This tells us that the latest pollsters that are out there asking people questions, people are not happy about the economy, and they're not happy about inflation. Now, inflation is an easy metric to gauge. If you ask someone, are prices at the grocery store, are they less or more expensive? And if people are coming out and saying that they're more expensive, that's what's reflecting here. That's how we're seeing these double digits. Prices aren't coming down when it comes to groceries. Prices aren't coming down when it comes to other products. And we're going to see people held responsible during the midterm election. And so that's why when we're talking about the House and the Senate, we were just going over the Senate today, but when we're talking about the House, the Democrats have a good opportunity to take back the House. Now, when it comes to the Senate, it'll be a lot harder. But when it comes to the House, things aren't looking good right now. We don't know what's going to happen. We still have another year to wait before the election, but just looking at the latest polling, and remember, polls are a snapshot of where we are today. So tomorrow it changes, a week from now it will change, a month from now it will change, a year from now it will change. So if we do see our economy get back on track, if we see inflation start coming down, if people start really seeing that prices are going down at grocery stores, then maybe Republicans will have a chance to maintain the House and maintain the Senate. But as it stands right now, Democrats do have an advantage when it comes to the House, taking back the House. When it comes to the Senate, Republicans still have an advantage to maintain the Senate. So if you guys have any questions, let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.